I've always wanted to have a UFO channel where we could talk about this weird shit, UFO astrology, out of body experiences, just new age out and that stuff. It doesn't work on a political channel because it's kind of difficult. It'll be like you having like 10 shows on death, killing, war, and then you immediately flip over to this kind of new agey stuff. I got to be honest with you, a lot of this has beat that out of me on some level, even though some of it remains. I mean, what's true is just true. The OBE stuff, remote viewing stuff, that stuff is just true. You can do it yourself, so you don't need to take my word for it. That's not like a take my word for this stuff. You can do it your own. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's true. It's just fascinating. The alien stuff, I have no idea. I mean, I have one weird alien story. One weird alien story, not close. I go through phases. And I go through phases where there's this intense need to understand something that seems to be all-consuming and that I don't exactly control. It's almost like Dexter, looking for his next kill. It feels like that. It feels overwhelming. People who are around me at the time, oh, it sucks for them. It sucks for them. I have a single-track mind. I can't think of anything else. And I went through this period with the New Age stuff, and I went through this period with the UFO thing. Because my thing was like, if this is true, how do you prove it? It's one thing to believe something. Belief doesn't really get you anywhere. You either believe it or you don't. Truth is different. And truth is experienced. Those are different things, if that makes sense. Somebody can say, I can read a book on OBEs or astral travel or whatever. But is it true? How do you know it's true? And you can say, well, I trust this guy. This guy told me that. Yeah. But you don't know if it's true. You didn't experience. Experience is different. Read every book in the world you want about jumping out of an airplane. Until you do it, it's not the same, right? I was so preoccupied at that time. And God, man, my wife, she suffered. God, she suffered. And then you get into your mind, how do you experience this? How do you make this real? How do you have people who said they made contact. How do you do that? How did they do that? Okay, some people are random, right? Guy was a farmer who was walking in the middle of Arkansas, gets picked up and they put something in his ass. That is not a good outcome. That is not an outcome I want. How do you avoid that? How do you avoid that? While simultaneously trying to make some kind of contact that doesn't freak you the fuck out. And even getting freaked out, the truth is acceptable in the context of getting freaked out. Meaning, I would accept the freak out if I get the truth. I started studying all of this stuff, trying to figure out, how do you make contact? How do you make contact? How do you make contact? And I went through this phase of meditations. I went through this phase of all of this stuff. And weird stuff started to take place in life. Now, for me, I just said, okay, this is my subconscious effing with me. But then there was a sighting, right? Like when I was in Egypt, for example, we were driving in a car. We were coming out of the airplane. There's this tiny light I'm watching in the sky because I used to sky watch. My wife is not paying attention. Or my ex-wife is not paying attention. I think at it, and the thing blows up just like a sun, like a miniature sun in the sky. I get super excited. I turn to her and say, hey, look at this. And as she's turning around, the guy goes into a bridge. And by the time we come out, we're in a different location. Like, motherfucker. She's never there to see it. Like, anytime this stuff happens, she's never there to see it. There was another situation where we're coming out of the house. Both of us are going to work in the morning. There's something that flies by us so fast. It ball-shaped. It had like an aura around it. And it zoomed by. But it was so fast that it was like a snapshot of like, whoa, what the fuck was that? And she says, I was like, did you see that? She says, yeah, I saw something. I go, what did you see? Yeah, I'm not sure. Round, distorted space, kind of like a like heat coming off a thing. happened so fast, you couldn't place it, right? It's just bam, that goes. All of this culminates once into a dream, in fact, 2 dreams, that scared the living shit out of me. I've never been more scared in my life in a dream. Usually I'm a badass in my dreams. Like, I don't know the last time I've had a nightmare. This, in fact, it scared me so much that I woke up ashamed that I was that scared of the dream. Oh, it was terrifying. It was terrifying. I was, all right, so I'm laying in bed. I think my wife is beside me. I hear a commotion upstairs. I get up. This first instance, I get up. I walk to the door, and as I get to because the way the architecture was set up at the time where her and I lived, downstairs was a bedroom, upstairs was a living room. It created like an insulation in the house. She stays in bed. I get up. I walk to the door, and she says, "What's wrong?" I said, "There's something on upstairs. I'm going to check." And she says, "Okay." I grab the door, and I am frozen. I can't move. She says, "What's wrong?" I say, "I can't move." And I hear commotion upstairs, and I hear something coming down the steps. In my head, I'm screaming, "No, I know what this is," right? Like, no, this is not what I want. I wake up in absolute terror. I've never been terrified in a dream before. Fast forward, and by the way, ashamed. It's like, dude, you have meditated, you've wanted some verification and all this other shit. Even if it's your subconscious effing with you, how are you that terrified? I was terrified. Shit's intense, right? Being frozen is intense. A month later, everything stops. A month later, same situation. Laying in bed, hear something upstairs, can't move, frozen. I'm in full-blown panic. Like I am, oh, never go for retarded. I am in panic mode. I can hear something coming downstairs. I hear what I think is my wife. And in retrospect, it can't be her. And I don't even think I heard it audibly, but I'm not sure. But she says, "Look, you should calm down. You can't do anything about it at all. This is what you wanted." And in that moment, I tried to get myself together. It's like, okay, she's right. Get your shit together. Just keep it together, keep your shit together. And I am talking myself down. I'm trying to like chill the fuck out. As I'm trying to chill out, still frozen, by the way, I hear something break the seal and come into the room. And I hear something move around the room. At this moment, I am less freaked out and I'm just more curious. My curiosity goes off the scale. And I'm like, all right, they're in the room. Something is in the room. You can't do anything about this anyway. What is it? Meaning I've gone through the fear thing, right? I'm at the curiosity stage. And my curiosity is peaked at this moment. And I hear he's curious. He wants to know. He wants to see what's going on. The moment the curiosity took over from the fear, I was allowed to move. I could move. And as I pull my head up to look up, there's a African-American woman staring me in the eyes. And I think to myself, bullshit. I was like, this is bullshit. And I wake up. I felt prouder of myself, weirdly enough, for being in a dream state and being able to keep my shit together. Because in a dream state, you couldn't tell you were in a dream state. And you were effective, like just functioning as you. But God, man, it is a terrifying experience. That shit is terrifying. Even with my subconscious fucking with me, it is a terrifying experience. And everything stopped. There were no more anomalies. There were no more weirdness. There was no more dreamscapes. There was nothing else. It just, after that, it just stopped. It was just strange. A very weird, very strange experience. But I wanted to know. Get the books on Charles James Hall and the Tall Whites. I don't know if I buy that story, Manny. I know the story you're talking about. I've even seen his documentaries. I don't know if it's the way he talks or the way he gives and relays the story. Look, I told you, I function better through experience. I just do. It's just the way I am. For me, this is just content. It's, this person had an interesting story. Is it true? I don't know. Well, could be just trying to sell a book. I don't know. So I do accept it. I have read it. Or at the very least, I've watched all of his documentaries. I don't know if I've read the book per se, but I know who he is. I know exactly who he is. Yeah. The tall whites. He was like, they could go to the casino at times and put on a suit and you would never know who they were. Yeah. David Jacobs is terrifying. Oh, he is fucking terrifying. David Jacobs is terrifying. Look, there's some people in ufology who have this rosy space brother point of view of the world. David Jacobs does not have that point of view. David Jacobs is like, they're invading. In fact, I think he called his book Invasion, where he is recounting story after story after story after story. And all of them are just terrifying. He was like, they took this person, they raped that woman, and they took her ovaries out, and they made a baby out of it. It's like, whoa, okay, man, okay. You're being very aggressive right now. Calm down. Yeah, Jacob is intense. The space brother thing, when I was in my 30s, I believed in space brother stuff. That was me. New agey. It's like, I want to go out of body. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then you get to 40 and you start doing politics. And you realize, oh God, these people are monsters. And if these people are monsters, what stops anybody else from being monsters? Like, meaning, everybody's talking about disclosure. Okay. You are talking about a black box. We're not talking about classified stuff that the US government is doing, like wars that it's starting, things that it hides from the public. We're talking about something that is a black box, even to most members of Congress. And what comes out that box is somebody comes out and says, hey, I saw what was in the box. Just take my word for it. This is what's true. Now, do you really trust Chuck Schumer? Do you really trust people like Anthony Fauci? People like any rando Congress member? Do you really trust these people to be honest arbiters of what's true? Or do you trust your political actors to give you a point of view? Do you trust Donald Trump to give you the straight facts of what's taking place? Do you trust J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, these monsters, to give you the straight details about what reality is in the sense of the box that they've looked into and they've come out and related to the world? Do you think they're truthful in other circumstances? And if you don't think they're truthful in other circumstances that you can verify with your own eyes, why do you think they're truthful about what comes out that box? Do you think they work for their own ends? Yes. Do you think their own ends may not be the truth, or is only cut in a way that suits their interests? Yes. That box is terrifying because you don't know what's in it. B, the people who are going to relay the information associated with whatever comes out of it, you can't trust them. So you're stuck in this kind of quagmire of a hall of mirrors in the dark on some level. It's terrifying. I don't know how you get any real information out of your government that's going to be cut in a way that's honest. And regardless of whatever's out there, threat, friend, foe, somewhere in between, neither an enemy or friend, just kind of like us, work for their own interests. You got to deal with it. Now, it is a hard prospect to tell people that their reality is wrong. God, man, I gave monologues on this on a radio show. It is very difficult for people to accept that what they understand their reality to be is wrong. Your perception of physics, what is allowed, is inaccurate, or at the very least incomplete. And in the context of that stuff being incomplete, you have physics that would allow you to go at magnificent speeds, maybe harnessing gravity. You have physics that may create weird effects and weird consequences along the lines of issues of consciousness. I'm saying physics and consciousness, but those things will still be the same thing. I'm making the point of saying what you may think of yourself as a human being may be radically changed, and what your world, your reality allows may be radically different than A, what you've been told, and B, what's real. That could be a hard pill for society to swallow, but that is the pill that society will have to swallow when that box opens, to whatever degree that box opens. Oh God, man, that is a politics has disabused me of the Space Brother stuff. It's not that they can't be love and light. It's just that how do you deal with society, even if you were love and light? You come to a planet, you see the planet, you say, God, man, that planet is really fucked up. Let's say you were completely benevolent. Angels. And I don't mean it literally, I just mean your frame of reference is we're benevolent. How do you do anything for a planet like Earth? How? Anything that you do is going to be seen with suspicion. Anything that you provide is going to be used as harness as weapons. You can't do anything and direct in real terms that is not going to be taken as a negative and used as a negative. Any intrusion, any invasion, any manipulation is going to be taken in negative terms. They may be negative terms, by the way, in regards to what the person or group is trying to do, but we'll postulate it benevolent. How do you deal with a planet like Earth? I guess my thing is you don't. Yeah, it's just, we'll see. At some point, they may open that box. I'm going to say because I've been fucking around talking about UFOs. Don't get me started. Manny Rose, I'm going to blame you partially. I'm going to blame myself partially. You guys have a fantastic